Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to this Generative AI for Business Leaders workshop. Today is the second day of uh, this workshop, and let's quickly try to recall what we did, what we discussed in yesterday's session. So we started with the basics of machine learning. We understood what machine learning is, what are the different types of problems that we can solve, and what's the requirement of moving ahead to different kinds of models. And we came to something called as neural networks. And after neural networks, we had some of the restrictions. Just to overcome that, we went to deep learning models. And in order to handle different data types such as text, music, speech, time series data, we needed slight modifications in the deep neural network architecture, which actually took us forward to recurrent neural networks. And recurrent neural networks, uh, in order to increase the memory of such models, we went to long short-term memory networks, LSTM. Then the LSTM was not capable of handling the data sets related to the whole language. So we wanted transformer models. And at the end, transformers lead towards the LLMs, which is the core of the generative AI, which we are looking for. So there are LLMs which are specifically for text-related data sets. We have vision-related data modeling is possible. So GAN, GAN, generative adversarial networks are the fundamentals of that. Again, we build the models which are capable of generating uh, the fake images which look pretty much similar to the real ones, right? So this is what we had discussed. Then we moved towards the prompt because we have two scenarios here. One is there are well-built models that exist, or there are several vendors who make their well-built models available for us to use. So if you want to use that, most of our day-to-day life will be we can solve many problems of day-to-day lives if we use the existing models itself, right? So for that, no coding is required. We apply something called as prompt engineering. Prompt is something we use the natural language format to communicate with these pre-trained models. So the transformers were saved in the form of generative pre-trained transformers. So GPT is the most common format in which the model is being saved. So we understood that, okay, we need prompting. So towards the end of yesterday's discussion, we were looking at the 5 different aspects that must be present in the prompt. And one example I showed earlier in yesterday's session was the text related. This is another example which we implemented on a Dream Studio to generate the images. And you can see, right, at different parts of the prompt, we are trying to implement the 5 different aspects here, giving the direction, specify what format you want in the output, Then provide some examples. So if you are using any of the generative AI tools to generate the images, right? This is how the interface is going to look like. You can even upload some images as example, or you can even provide a something like maybe link. I don't have an image with me, but I have a link of the image similar to that image I want to generate some. So that is also possible. You can do that. Then evaluate the quality. If which out of the four images that the model suggests, which one you want to select and uh, fine tune further. So that is actually a part of evaluation of the quality. Then you can actually divide the labor. So you can next step you can say that okay, remove the background and make some changes, etc. So that's how the prompt engineering is very important for us. So now prompt engineering is a completely different field, and it's we have a lot of things to study over there. We will be touching a small portion of the prompt engineering in today's session before we go ahead with the hands-on part. All right, so we know that LLMs are trained on massive amount of data. This data can sometimes contain biases, which can then be reflected in the outputs of these LLMs. For example, let's assume that an LLM which is trained on the data sets of news articles about all the CEOs, uh, that might be more likely to generate, say, text that refers to CEOs are men, right? Maybe the trainer has not used any data set saying that CEOs can be women as well. So whenever you ask any questions, it may return answer in the form of saying he itself, indicating that that there is a bias. So that's a major issue because we have no control on the pre-trained models which already do exist. Something like GPT-4. All right, so recording is continuing. All right, so I hope screen is visible. I have shared.
Not yet, Krishna. Yeah, it is now.
You can see now, right? Okay.
Yes.
Sorry, everyone, for the inconvenience. So we were discussing about the bias, right? So we have no control over the pre-trained models training data set because somebody has chosen a data set and they have used that data set for training. So if we want the answers generated by such models without any bias, only option that I can uh, I can implement here is to use the prompts, avoiding the biases. So one way to avoid bias in LLM's output is to use prompts very carefully. Prompts are instructions that you give to the LLM to tell it what kind of text to generate. By carefully crafting the prompts, we can help to ensure that the LLM generates text that is fair and unbiased. Over here, we can see that the text at the bottom of this image has two examples, how to craft the prompts to avoid the bias. So first example says that when asking about, say, the career options, ensure that the model does not assume the gender-specific roles or prioritize certain professions over others. So this is a good example how to avoid the bias in our prompts. When we are asking the LLMs about career options, we should avoid using language that suggests certain careers are more appropriate for men or women or something like that, right? So this is what we need to take care here. So if we want to uh, ask the LLMs about these questions, it is likely that we will definitely get biased responses. Or
Hi Prashant, I think screen is not visible.
Just give me 1 second. I think my net is slightly fluctuating. I'll just
Oh,
1 second.
sure,
Sorry for the
sure.
inconvenience.
No worries.
All right. So that's what we need to catch from the bias related to the maps. So let's imagine that I'm the conductor leading an orchestra. So my prompts are going to act as a sheet music, guiding the generative AI model towards the desired outcome. There are different types of prompts at our disposal, and understanding each one empowers us to make informed choices. So let's look at these types of prompts quickly. There are three key techniques. The first one is a one shot, then we have multi shot, and a few short prompts. As a one short prompt, it's something like a single instruction, clear and concise. For example, we might ask the model to write a poem about a robot in love with moon. Okay, so the advantage of a one-shot prompt is that it's very simple, and it's however it offers limited control over the output, and there is a chance that the AI might generate some irrelevant answers as well. But if we want to keep the questions as simple as possible, in a single statement, if we try to give the prompt, that's what we call as a single short prompt. Imagine building a story step by step. This is the concept behind multi-shot prompt. You provide model with the multiple prompts, each adding details and building upon the previous one. This approach offers more control over the narrative and allows for iterative refinement. So in this case, you can see the example. First, I write the prompt number one in any of the tool, right? If you are readily in front of the ChatGPT window, you can try this as well. Write a story about a detective, right? Now you see, this becomes a one shot for the model. It types a story. Then I specify what is to be added or what has to be changed in this above story. So detective has a mysterious past. So maybe in the previous answer, when answering the prompt one, model did not, uh, model had no clue that you want something that relates to the, say, mysterious past of the detective. Now it actually modifies, and you will be able to see the content getting modified according to this. All right. Then we'll go ahead. I further modify. I'll and enter prompt 3 after the model gives me the answer for prompt 2. Detective is investigating a case of a stolen robot. Now the story further changes. Once again, it writes a completely new story saying that, okay, there is a mysterious past. Plus, right now he's investigating about a stolen robot. You can write a prompt for saying that, okay, end it in such a way that so and so thing happens, and like that. So you can enter multiple shots over here, right? And the result what we are going to get, right, will be the improvement on the previous answer. So if this is the way of entering the prompts and having a communication with the model, this kind of prompting is what we refer as multi-shot prompts. Then we have few shot prompt. It's a different approach. Here, normally we provide the model with the few reference examples along with the main prompt. So we will not be entering prompts one after the other and waiting for the answer. what we try to do here, it's a single window. You enter the prompt along with some examples. So these examples act as a guide, influencing the model's style and content for the final output. The advantage of few short prompt lies in the clear direction provided by the reference example. So I'm responsible for giving the example. So if I provide appropriate examples here, so definitely the model will be guided towards what I'm referring to, and it will give the expected answers. All right. So, however, the quality of the final output depends heavily on the quality of the examples that we choose. So, when to use which technique? Very straightforward. One shot prompts are ideal if your task is very simple or initial brainstorming. Multi-shot prompts shine whenever you need to build complexity or refine an idea progressively. Few short prompts are excel when you have existing examples that can guide the model in the right direction. Right. So if you look at the screen, example says that prompt, write a press release announcing the launch of a new eco-friendly phone. This is the prompt, but I have to give examples below this. Maybe I have how the press releases look like, right? And I have to give at least 2 or 3 press release examples below this. So I just write few short examples, and I write those examples in the same, as a part of the same prompt. All right. So these 3 techniques, along with the 5 different aspects of prompt, 5 different components of the prompt, if we use, we can definitely go ahead and write a very good, what you say, prompt, and we can get a result. All right. So now let's go to an example, right? Well, let's try to work out something. And what I want here is I want all of you to open up, because we are starting with our hands-on sessions today. So I prefer using the ChatGPT for this session. And if you are free to choose any other tool as well. All right. So you can use the Bard, you can Bard or the Gemini, you can use the Copilot of Microsoft Bing, or any other tool, right, which you have access to. So kindly you can open that. And this is the question, right? I want you to try to write a prompt to solve this question. You are an author and need help to decide the topics for your new book on personal finance. So this is the question. All right. So please try. I'll give 2 minutes for you to try. And as soon as some of you have the answers, please share your screen and let us discuss. All right. So you can use one shot, you can use multiple shots, you can use few shots, or you try to use the 5 different components of a prompt here, and right, you are free to do trial and error for sure. Okay. Meanwhile, if anyone has anything to discuss, any doubt, please feel free. You can either unmute and ask orally, or even you can type in the chat, please.
So Prashant, so when one single shot cannot be equivalent to, like, multiple shots, right? So effectively the complexity will increase.
Yes. Yes, definitely. And the in a multi-shot, what you say, prompt, I will be able to refine step by step. So I will read the answer given by the previous prompt, and whatever changes I want, I will modify. I will ask in the next part. So that's how you can see that the answers given by the model keeps on, it keeps on changing.
Prashant, could you please show one prompt by doing it yourself so that we can relate it better, if it's possible, by
Yeah,
sharing
definitely.
it?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah,
Sure. I
please.
will directly do the previous example, so that I will come
Yeah.
back to this slide, and you can work on this. All right.
Sure.
Yeah,
Thank you.
sure. Definitely. So I'll go back. So let's see that right? Let's take up this example itself. Write a story about a detective. I hope the screen is visible.
Yes.
Okay, so I'll write the same prompt which I have shown here. This is actually a multiple short example. All right. So the question here clearly says that story about a detective. All right. So story about a detective. Right. As we can see, this is the story given by the GPT 3.5. Definitely, right now, no background of the detective is mentioned over here. Right. Let me simply go through this first, just to make sure that there is no background mentioned anywhere. Right. Okay. So let me add the multi-shot, the prompt number 2 over here, saying that mysterious past. Now the title itself is changed if you observe, shadows of the past. Let's let it finish, then we'll check where it is actually adding the concepts of the mysterious things from the past. All right, so that's the part where it actually is uh, taking care of the past, which I have mentioned. Story changes for sure. Now I will try to further improve upon. I'm going to ask the same thing which is mentioned in the slide. I think the detective is investigating a case of stolen robot. Okay, I hope the multi-shot prompt is clear now. Let me know if you have any other suggestions or any other inputs, please. Okay, so I'll move back to the slides. And this was my question. I wanted you to write a prompt which does this job. You are seeking help from the LLM model to decide what are the topics for your new book on personal finance.
Shall I share my screen, Prashant?
Yes, sure. Please go ahead, Ramesh. I will stop sharing.
Okay, so I have written like this.
All right.
I
So
mean, yeah.
that's good. Please go ahead. Please go ahead.
I'm an author. I want to write a book on personal finance. Can you help me with some good titles?
Yes. So you are specifying that you are an author. It's an input. And you are giving a task saying that, okay, you need a book on particular topic. And the exact question comes after that saying that I need good titles, right? Yes, this is acting like a single shot question. And yes, you can see that, right? I think it's suggesting 10 to 15 at least, I guess, right? Okay, more than that. All right. Now, thank you. Thank you, Ramesh. Anybody else who want to share the screen?
Let me share the screen.
Yes, please, Mahesh. Please go ahead.
Let me know if you're able to see my screen.
Yes, we can see the screen. Please go ahead.
So this was my prompt. I want to write a book on personal finance. Please suggest the outline for the book.
All right. So here we can see, since the prompt says, I need an outline, it understands that we need the headings or the chapter titles, followed by what are the subheadings that can be included over here. Correct? Yes.
Exactly.
I appreciate. That's very nice. And that's very good. Thank you. Thank you, Mahesh. Anybody else?
I can show.
Yes, sure. Sure. Please go ahead, Shraddha.
Let me know once you're able to see my screen.
Yes, we can see your screen. Please
Okay.
go ahead.
So I mentioned, give me the list of topics in table format to write a book on personal finance.
Yes. So here we can observe that there is input, which is the first basic component in a prompt. Plus, here Shraddha is mentioning about what exact format she's looking for. And the output format is specified here, table format. And then the questioning part comes into picture saying that I need personal finance is the topic and give me the list of topics, chapter title and a specific format. It is general topic, generalized format is what it's mentioning. If you can specify that, okay, I need a table saying that this is a column, these are the columns I want, and something else, if you add, definitely this will modify. Okay, so yes, that's very good, Shraddha. Thank you for sharing. You can see book should be 2000 pages when she's adding, it's actually modifying the contents further, correct? Absolutely.
Yeah. I tried the
Right.
same in Gemini also, but
Okay.
Got something like this. It's not great result. I was just trying to compare.
Okay.
So the same
Correct.
prompt I gave in Gemini.
Why do you think? What could be the reason behind this difference?
I think it is still not, it is still doesn't have the entire data. It's still not trained completely is what I feel. You know, it's still lacking the data and the content, and it's not completely, you know, though we have the option like export to sheets, right?
Okay.
I think here we don't have it. But on the
Absolutely.
content side, if I see the content is less, so maybe, you know, the content feeded to Gemini, the people using Gemini and the content going there is less compared to ChatGPT could be one of the reasons.
Perfect. Perfect. So generally, in yesterday's discussion, we have discussed about one point that though you ask this, though you ask the same question to different models, the results will be different because of the fact that one thing is the data set used will be definitely different. The model's architectures, how the model predicts what's going to come next, what is the next word that is going to be coming in the sorry about that. So the model's prediction, the mechanism of predicting the next word changes from model to model. So that is also another reason. So the length of your results matter here. They change just because of that one fact. All right. So
Yeah.
right.
Few interesting
Yes.
thing which I noticed, maybe just for everyone's benefit, it has an
Yes.
option to export to sheet when we are saying in the tabular format.
Hmm.
Other thing which I saw is, it has that listen mode, right? So I think that is also something new which I
Right.
saw in
Correct.
Gemini, which is not there in ChatGPT.
Yes, perfect. So even I have seen Gemini can accept images as input. Right
Okay.
now, that is not there as not there in ChatGPT in the basic version. In the pro version, you can upload even images. Whereas when it comes to the other tool, that is Bing's, Bing is using OpenAI's ChatGPT 4 version in its AI tool. That's Copilot, wherein you can ask the model to generate even images for it. So you see that their business models are different. So their products are actually having different capabilities. Some are free, some are not free, like that. All right. So thank you everyone for sharing your screens. I will give the chance for others to share the screen in the different example. All right, so different case. All right, so let me show you one answer here, one of the possible solution for that question here. So this we are trying to give more information here, trying to cover up all the aspects of what you say, all the aspects of the. All right. So prompt, whatever we are trying to give here, I'm trying to elaborate it, and I have very specific requirement, I'm assuming. And you see, this is the prompt which I suggest. Now, I'm trying to give a persona to the model. I'm saying that you are Morgan Housel, a very renowned writer known for your wit and storytelling on personal finance. I'm giving a characteristic to the model. You already have authored a bestseller on the personal finance concept. So this makes sure that the model is going to write the text or whatever it is going to suggest. It's going to follow the persona of a bestseller author on the same topic. Already he has published a book which is a bestseller. So you see, you are actually setting up a standard and a background for this. So it's not an input. I'm trying to give what exactly is the standard of output I'm expecting. Now the context comes into picture. You are now set to publish a second book, which is more tactical in nature. Write down the table of contents for this book. So this is where the question comes into picture. So model understands, okay, I have to give this. I need to give the contents of this table of contents. But now I add some more points here, what exactly I'm looking for. Normally, if you are trying to generate a content or search engine optimization or some content like that from these models, it is always suggested that you go with the target audience, whom you are targeting. So you see here, audience are catering to this book are young professionals. I specify what exactly I mean by young professionals. They are particularly interested in financial freedom. So this book table of content should be more concentrating on the financial freedom. And maybe they want to retire early. Maybe you can modify this point as well. Then make sure that these table of contents are always oriented towards this point of view. Again, I try to give a hint that I don't want to write a very large book, right? So they don't like to read much. So there is a restriction of maximum 5 chapters. All right. So I try to cover the different aspects of the prompt over here. That's why this looks lengthier. But maybe if I add few more points over here, I may get my desired outputs in a single shot itself. This looks like a single shot, but since I'm adding, if I give simple the second line as it is in the first prompt, then I keep on make it multi-shot prompt. maybe at the end, I will definitely come to the same result as whatever result this comes. So I wanted to show you that it's not necessary that you have to go with a multi-shot always. You can make a single shot itself detailed so that the result becomes ultimate results you get in a single shot as well. All right. Okay. So what are your thoughts? Please tell me. Let me know on this. If you want to discuss anything, please let me know.
No, this is really good, Prashant. I think the prompt is very concise. I was not aware, in fact, that we can give such detailed prompt.
Yes. Yes. Correct. Correct,
Yeah.
Shraddha. So again, this will not come in a moment, right? We will have to work on this. That's why we have a complete. In fact, we are conducting a training on prompt engineering itself because that's a huge topic, right? As
Yeah.
you said, nobody will have a clue saying that yeah, we can write such prompts, right? So that's what I can say about this. Yes.
Right.
Yes. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead. Right. So that's the input we required for prompt engineering as perspective. So we will not discuss much more about the prompt engineering here, all right, in this course, because whatever we needed for prompt engineering for our hands-on session, majority of the points I have discussed over here. But as I mentioned earlier, it's a very huge topic. Now, whether you are a developer or a non-coding person, business leaders, prompt engineering offers significant advantages. Say for developers, it empowers to fine-tune the existing models for very specific tasks, build, say, customized LLMs with very precise control over the outputs, optimize the code for seamless generative AI integration. At the same time, for business leaders, it opens doors to generating high quality content or maybe the brainstorming innovative ideas and streamlining various workflows, ultimately boosting efficiency and the productivity. Basically, a dedicated prompt engineering course equips you with the necessary skills to navigate this exciting field. Normally, the curriculum covers range of topics, starting with the core principles of prompt design, LLM functionalities. Normally, you will delve into techniques for crafting prompts for very specific applications, along with the methods of evaluation, refining them for optimal results. For those who seeking deeper knowledge, advanced topics can also be covered, normally like fine-tuning open source models, building a custom LLMs, ethical considerations in prompt engineering, right, etc. So additionally, normally these courses will equip us with the skills to integrate the Gen AI models into existing workflows, ensuring a smooth and productive implementation. All right, so we have two branches here onwards, saying that one for how to use the Gen AI for coding perspective, developers, and the non-coding perspective. So we'll start with the non-coding here. So this Gen AI is revolutionizing different industries. We have a lot of examples in real world, but how can you leverage its potential? So now we explore Gen AI user groups and their applications. Example, we start with the non-coders, and imagine that you have a business and seeking to boost the efficiency and explore new creative ideas. So this is where the Gen AI for non-coders come into picture. These user-friendly tools empower individuals with who want to manage things rather than writing the technical content, right? So we can use the prompts to interact with the existing models like GPT-3 3.54 to generate the content, craft marketing copies, or brainstorm innovative ideas. This approach normally offers significant advantage. It is easy to use. Just now we saw that I just have to write. I don't have to look at what happens in the background, how the model works, how the model behaves, right? What statistical approach they have used. I don't have to worry. I just have to use an interface developed by someone to enter my text. Text will go to the model will respond, and I see the answer. So that's why it says it's easy to use. And definitely we can streamline our workflow. However, the important point to remember here is that these tools rely on pre-trained models only, limiting complete control over the outputs. I can change the prompt to get a different answer. If that is also not satisfying, I still have a freedom to change the prompt. Only the prompt is what I have, right? I can change the words in my prompt. That's the only control I have. Additionally, there is always a potential for factual inaccuracies or biases inherent in the underlying model. So over there, we have no control. So that's what we need to manage. Anyway, so we are fully free to change the, the prompt, the text that we normally write. Okay, so we will move to the daily life examples and we'll do hands-on. All right, so this is the first example we will be implementing here. So the first one is the presentations. Normally, we have to work a lot. If there is a presentation which you have to give, you will definitely sit for at least 2-3 hours, and you will generate you will find out what is the text that you need to put, what should be the flow of the presentation, how many slides should be there, and many other things. Right. And this is going to be really tedious job. Now, in this particular hands-on session, we will see how to reduce this work by using the generative AI concepts. All right, so definitely there will be a prompt that you need to write. This is just an example prompt. Create a compelling presentation on so-and-so topic for so-and-so audience. And you will actually talk about your data set, right, which you want to involve, and right, so this is just an example prompt. I'll go back to the actual prompt which I have written earlier. Okay, so I will shift to the chat GPT. Okay, and let me create a new chat here. All right. So let us take up an example. All right, so this is what I want. This is the topic. Let's say there is a product which my company is launching, super AI helmets, and I want 10 slides. And at the same time, I also want to make sure that the contents are catchy. And right now, you can actually add a little bit of more information here, but just to save time. Anyway, we know that if I give more information in the form of a prompt, it is going to generate more accurate content. Okay, so since that we already have discussed that, I'm not going to that level of prompting now onwards. I simply say that, okay, just look at the prompt first. So I am giving this. So please, each one of you try from your side, try a product which is related to your company or your work profile, and give some information over there. Definitely this is what it comes. Right. So now we have two options here to convert this into the PPT. One is that, anyway, I know that there is a title given by that. So I can copy the title to the first slide. I can paste these bullet points in that same slide as a text. Then I go to the add a new slide, copy and paste the title of the second slide, then copy, and this is what can be done, definitely. But you see here, what if I want images to be present over? Again, I have to search what are the different images that what images I can put over there. Is it suitable to the content or not, right? Normally, that actually is going to take time. It's again a time-consuming job, right? So now, this is what we can do, right? We can use the some of the features of Microsoft Office, which is going to come very handy. Anyway, the Gen AI part is over. This clearly says that, okay, these are the 10 slides for, right? So what we do next, we'll copy this. Okay, so copy this content. So once you copy this, you can directly go to Microsoft365.com, which is the online version of Microsoft Office, MS Office tools. You may have to log in with your Microsoft accounts credentials, which will take to something like this page. All right, so this is normally you will be in home, right? And I'll come to the Word. Okay, I hope you are following along with me. Let me know if you have any doubt at any point of time. I go to the blank document. Go to a blank document. And you will paste. Okay. Whatever you have copied, you simply paste it. And paste the text. This is how it comes. You will have to slightly, I think that is basically not required. Even without that, let me check without that. So because there was black background, I thought we may need to change it. Let me try without that, without changing this, but I don't think that will convert into a slide properly. So for which what I did earlier, I tried the same thing earlier, where I said that paste the text only, and then I slightly modified the contents, like saying that, okay, I gave some spacing and like this. Go to this. So you select this and so something like that you can do. You can make it clear that, okay, this is slide 1, okay, and this is slide 2. Though you may have to do for each and every slide, but this is still going to save time compared to manually doing all the job. Okay, so at least for first few slides, 4 or 5 slides, you do this, right? So I have already done that, so I will show you that particular.
But Prashant, we can keep the source formatting, now it will come like that.
I'm not very sure. I have not tested with the source format. Okay, so you can try.
Okay,
right?
let
So,
me try. Yeah.
when I tried without giving any spaces over here, right? So the Microsoft Word was not able to detect that there's a new slide. Everything was in the same slide. Everything was put up into the same slide earlier.
Okay.
So I gave some space and then I tested. Yes, it's actually converting into the slides properly. Okay, so maybe a little bit of trial and error is required here just to make sure that what are the exact steps you need to follow. But this roughly this works fine for all of us. All right. So again, why we are using the online version of this MS Office, there is a reason. Okay, we cannot do this in the offline or the installed version in my computer. That has no capability to convert all these texts directly into slides. So that facility we have only if you use the online version of the MS Office. Okay, please correct me if any of your tools have that capabilities. I tried with multiple versions of pre-installed MS Office in different laptops, but still I didn't find a solution. Okay, so I hope at least.
So one question I have, is it possible with the Google also, Google Slides as well?
Google Slides?
Correct.
It meant we may not be able to directly convert into a Google slide here. So this is going to work with the, as of now, the capability is limited for Google Slides. Directly, we can import into the PPTX format only, Microsoft. Okay. So, right, I hope everybody is still here, right? You have done this for at least for the first 2 or 3 slides, let's say. Once that is done, right, you can see here I have done this for the 10 slides which I had asked for. You will come to the file, come to the export part. So in the export part of the offline versions, we just have a convert into PDF. We don't have this option. You see here, export to PowerPoint presentation. So directly this text can be exported into a PowerPoint presentation, right? If you use this online version. So simply select on that, click on that, and you see, right? The themes are basically selected based upon the content. So there is AI content in my slides. So this Microsoft tool is capable of identifying, okay, there is a AI related. So some images you get. So you have a lot of options. You can get hundreds of themes over here to choose from. You can choose it. You can spend some time over here just to make your presentation, right, visually impressive. You can choose anything that you want here. All right, so let me choose this, the first one itself. I'll say export. And your presentation is ready, it says. Let's check. Right, so that's the slide number 1. Corresponding to that slide, you have the points written over here. This actually overlaps with the slide number 2 as well. But yes, some modifications we have to do. But on the right side, you can see that, yes, there is a designer. This designer app is there with our offline version as well. So you can definitely use it. You can download this to your system and you can make the modifications for sure. Otherwise, you can do everything here. You can, right, make the modifications and you can go ahead. Now you see that this is the next slide, next slide, next slide. So every slide, right, has been, right, identified properly and they have been put up into this. Now you can actually add, maybe if you want to add a different picture, you can go to the insert, you can get pictures, right? And you can select the stock or online, search from web, anything you want, you can do here, like you do that in the offline version. But now you see the theme which you have selected has been applied, and any number of slides that you have prepared, you ask the generative AI model to give you directly are converted into the slides properly. So that's the first step, right, which AI can help you, and MS Office tools are really handy in this case.
Prashant, Pyle here. I just wanted to check with you. Maybe I missed this.
Yes, tell me,
when you
Pyle.
get all the pointers on ChatGPT, which I've got,
Yes.
there's nothing that tells me that you can export this to PPT.
No,
So
there is no such option. I'll repeat. Okay, so there is, you have to follow a step, right? So I'll go back to the ChatGPT now. So
Right.
this is what ChatGPT generated,
Correct.
right? So you copy this. So you cannot directly copy, you cannot convert this into PPT. Okay, so you will have to copy this first. After copying this, you go and open your Microsoft Office online form. Okay, you have to log in. You can open Microsoft.com and you can log in over there. Then come to the this link, Microsoft365.com. All right.
Okay.
This is a location where you can use all the MS Office tools for free, but only in online form. Okay, you cannot use it offline. Right.
Right.
Right. And then you come to Word, open a new document and paste. So when you open the new document, this comes, I pasted.
Got that.
So the
Yes.
okay, content from ChatGPT, I'm pasting. Okay. Yes. Shraddha says that even without making these modifications, it worked absolutely fine. If it works, that's actually really helpful because it took at least 2 minutes for me to reorder this. So you can save that even the two minutes of time, right?
Yeah.
So I will come to the format, file, export. Over here, I have an option to export into the PowerPoint.
Got it.
All right. So then I think you understand how
Yeah,
to
yeah.
do it,
Yes,
right?
yes. Thank you.
Yes, sure. So you have options to download. Now the PPT which is there, right? You can even, right? You should have an option to download, save as, and you can share. All other things are possible, right? As you know, right? So rest of the things are very simple, right? How we do this. So any thoughts? Do you find this interesting or useful? Please let me know. What's your thoughts on this?
Absolutely.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah. Prashant, one question.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, this is really helpful. I was just trying to open Bing Copilot. In Copilot GPTs, we have multiple options, right? Copilot designer, vacation planner, cooking assistant,
Yes.
fitness trainer, right? So
Right.
I don't know what this designer is. Doesn't it give the PPT directly if we try and Bing for the PPT?
Yeah. You have the facility over there to generate the PPTs as well. Okay. It is going to ask you what is your form in the sense what's the theme. You will select a theme or the output format. So from there you can download the theme and you can upload your content. Or if you have a content, you can give the content. It tries to give the what you say results. It will put the content over there and it shows that. But what I have observed is that the contents, what you either if it suggests by itself, I didn't find that so much related to what I asked. That's what is my observation. Definitely, when you try, you may find that okay, this model is generating something which is useful, right? So that's how it is. But yes, definitely you can try that as well. There is an option to get the PPTs even in other tools. Okay.
Right, right.
Yes. So a lot of things are there to explore. So this is just a starting point.
Yeah. Thank you.
Sure. Thank you. Any other inputs? Okay, so let's go ahead. What we'll try to do now is I'll go back to another application, another hands-on part. Let's say Excel frameworks, right? As of now, if we are using the ChatGPT's basic version, that's a free version, there is no facility to upload any of the files. Okay, but if you have a Excel sheet which is available with you and you want to upload it to these kind of models, again there is a restriction. You cannot upload any size like 50 MB, 100 MB. No, that's not possible. There is a restriction of maximum 5 MB file can be uploaded. Which actually is a restriction on the practicality of that feature of uploading a file. Because normally when you see, whenever you have a data which is collected from any company's financial data set or something related to that, normally it's more than 10 MB according to minimum, but I have seen 50 MB and plus. So even if the paid versions of the ChatGPT is allowing you to upload the files to the model. Again, right now it's not very useful, I would say. But yes, we can even work on Excel workflows as well. So this is an example. If you have something like, let's say you have a data set which is collected already in the form of a Excel sheet, and you can give the Excel sheet within the limits of the model, and you can ask some questions like this. This is just an example prompt. And the Gen AI is going to generate the output. And again, we know that we are going to save some time. This is just a hint that what we can do. We will come to the, what you say, the exact hands-on now, right? Again, I will go back to the ChatGPT. And let me create a new. Right. So since I don't have what you say, let's say that I don't have a Excel file corresponding to my data set or any data set, basically any business. So let me ask the model to generate for it. I want to show you show you another capability of these models. They can actually simulate the data, right? Synthetic data set can be generated by these models. All right. So let me try to. I already have typed a prompt, which I'm going to use now. So just look at this. So assuming the data from a spreadsheet, I'm trying that whether the model understands that it has to create a data set, and or otherwise can it understand that it has to generate by itself and solve this problem. I wanted to try that. That's why I asked a question saying that assume a data from spreadsheet which contains sales data from a company selling electronics in so and so parts of the world in a past quarter. Again, I said that okay, Q1 of 2024 is what you need to assume. Analyze the data and provide the following insight. So if you upload a file lesser than say 5 MB, you don't have to worry about this. You can simply say that there is a file which I have uploaded, so and so name dot Excel sheet. From that, do this. This will be your prompt in such case. But right now I don't have a data. I wanted to check that whether the model can generate the data for me. I am actually asking the prompt like this: identify top 5 best-selling electronic products across the regions. Highlight the significant regional variations of the product. This is what is the analysis part on an Excel sheet, right? So calculate actually revenue generated each of the region, and I wanted to know that whether it can generate a chart, right? So, right, is there any capability for these models in its free version? Definitely, the paid versions have this capability, but my intention was to check that, right, whether the plot things are going to work or is there any facility to do this. Okay, so let's try this. What happens? I expect that it says I don't have a data set, right? So I would need a specific sales data in the form of a spreadsheet. All right, so this is what, as expected, I can understand that. Okay, so I don't have a data set, and right now I cannot go ahead. So this is what I expected, and yes, now I'll write another prompt, right? Saying that you only generate the data set. Generate a synthetic data for a company selling electronics in the same regions past quarter in the form of a table. I specify that, right? So columns of these tables must be in this. These are the column headings: the name, the region, and sales revenue. If you want more columns, you can even add. Apply the creativity at your and the best of your knowledge as and when required. So let's see what happens. Right? It generates and it understands that there is a previous question which is pending about the analysis of the data. Right? It performs that as well. So whatever questions I asked over there in the prompt, saying that I needed these kind of analysis on this data set in an Excel sheet, since I did not added the Excel sheet, initially it said that, no, I cannot proceed. But when I asked, okay, you only generate simulated data and then proceed. So this is what is the result. Okay, I'll show you the prompt which I wrote just now, just for your reference. And the previous question, which was pending to give an answer by the model, it continues immediately after the data set has been simulated. Okay, so please let me know your thoughts if you have any doubt.
Prashant, where is the option to upload the sheet? In case
It's
I
not-
have Excel.
It's not there in the free version. Right now we are using the free version, correct?
Okay.
So we don't have that. We have to go to the ChatGPT Pro by, I think $20 is the monthly amount.
Okay.
Okay, so as soon as you pay that, right? So here itself you get the option, right? So in the message, ChatGPT is there, right? You will get an option saying that upload a file.
Sure, thank you.
Sure. Do we have any doubts? Please let me know. Meanwhile, I'll move further to another example, another hands-on on the, let's say, let me back. I will share one file you in our chat. Okay, please collect it from the meeting chat and open it. All right. This is another example of using the generative AI's capabilities to handle or analyze the Excel sheets. All right. So let's say, right, I have a data set which is collected from, it contains some information about sales. And I want to, let's say, I want to perform something. So let's say that what if I don't know how to add something, add all of these, right? So let me, okay, I wanted a sum, right? I think most of us know the basics of Excel for sure. The first two or three examples which I'm going to discuss here are very basic. So even if you don't know how to perform the very basic operations here, still we can use the ChatGPT. That's the motto here. So how do I take a sum here, right? To check that, let me, I will see this, that I want the sum of all the cells from B2, I guess. Yeah, B2 to B10, right? So I will go back to the ChatGPT and I'll ask that question, right? I will go to, maybe I'll go to new thing. All right. So this says that, okay, use this formula. So even that makes, even this is how I learned the basics because we never had an opportunity to use Excel sheets widely. So that's why, right, the ChatGPT helped us a lot, right? So I'll just copy that and paste here. So that is the answer, right? So even if someone like me who never used this before can understand how to use it by learning in this method. So you can just ask a question to ChatGPT. It gives a formula, copy and paste the formula. Okay, so that's the first one. And I move further. I'll show the chat that's generated as well. So in another sheet called profit, you can see that revenue and the cost are mentioned over there. I know that I need to take a difference of them to get the profit. right? But I don't know the formula, let's assume, right? So for that reason, I would like to ask the prompt saying that, okay, so write a Excel formula to calculate the profit. Revenue is in cell this number A2 and the cost I have written in B2, right? I observe the data that is present in the form of Excel sheet and I come. So it simply says that, okay, just this is the formula which you need to run. Anyway, that's very basic, but still, you write, you get the answer.
I just wanted to know, you've opened a separate Excel sheet and then you're copying it, or is it an outcome of this ChatGPT itself?
No. Just now I shared one file in the meeting chat. You have to download that.
I will.
Okay, so in the meeting chat, you will get a file. I just opened that file. So that file contains all these, what you see on the screen. Okay, let me know if you feel that I'm a little bit faster.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
Okay, so there are many hands-on to go through, so that's why maybe I'm slightly going forward. All right, so I just asked the ChatGPT saying that this is what I want to do. Give me the form. All right, then I'll go further. This is something like, anyway, there is a lookup, index match, etc. Many concepts are there. Those who are experts in the Excel sheet and the processing data using Excel sheet, they know that, right? Those concepts. Anyway, that's a straightforward method if you are a user of Excel sheet. But someone like me, I have no idea that if I have a list present which has thousands of lines, let's assume, I don't know where exactly a particular content is located in that list. So now assume that there is a huge list here. The A column contains many cookie types, and I don't know where is this sugar cookie in that. So what I want is I want to write a formula here so that it identifies where is it located and what's the price of that. So that price needs to come here. Price in this case, I know that I can see here it's 3, but I want to make sure that the 3 comes here by writing a formula. Okay, so that's my question, right? So let me ask that. Let me put it over in the chat GPT. I will simply write this, write an Excel formula to find out sugar cookie. I think this sugar cookie, anyway, it's not so case sensitive. So even if you write small letter S, it should work. But let me correct, because over there it was a sugar cookie, S and C capitals. And I want to return the price. So you see that I earlier mentioned that there is a concept of VLOOKUP and indexing, etc. Many other concepts are there. It actually identifies, okay, this is the concept that needs to be applied. And this, if you apply, you will get the answer. Okay, so sometimes these formulae which is generated by the models, right, may not be so efficient. You might have to change that as well slightly, but let's see. It says yes, right? So you just have to come here, paste the formula, and it says 3, which is the expected answer. Okay, I'll go further, right? There actually, according to me, you can even apply a different method called indexing, but I will not specify that. I'll simply ask, can I use any other functions for doing the same? It actually identifies that, yes, there is another method called index, right? So you can copy this and paste. Anyway, I'll not go to that. Again, anyway, it's going to give the same answer. Okay, so this is another usage of Gen AI. You can get the formulae related to different tasks that comes to your mind whenever you have a data set. You can even process larger data sets. You can ask for the equations to generate new files, to generate new, what you say new sheets, clubbing two sheets, etc. Very complex things can also be done here, but right. So right now I'm not showing each and everything over there. This is just a hint saying that, oh, yes, we can use it. We can do this as well. Okay. So do you have any questions? Please let me know. Otherwise, we will take a quick break of 10 minutes now. And maybe then we'll continue. Yes, Asim, do you have any question?
Oh, yes, actually. Well, I know that I do have lots of options for this within Microsoft Excel. I can just use the help, right? Why do I need to navigate between different windows when I can do the same job being in the same window, that is Excel?
You are using the help, right?
Right.
Right. Okay. I will try to answer
And
that.
another question is,
yeah, sure.
How AI is helping me, because Microsoft Help is there from ages.
Okay. So any complex operations, right? Microsoft Help is not sufficient to give the complete answer. This is what I have seen. Okay, just to answer the first point, why you need this AI tool. Right? AI tool, if you ask a very specific question completely in the form of text, it's going to give you the answer. For a simple, say, help, like how to find a sum, yes, definitely Microsoft Help is going to help. But if at all I want to generate a new, say, new window out of the first two sheets in that I want to use some operations on few of the common columns and get it into a new sheet. How do I do that? I cannot enter the text format in the help, right?
You can.
So, right. So that's the point where the Gen AI is going to help you. So,
No, you
but
can
right now we don't.
actually. You
Sorry?
can use
Huh.
data from different worksheet, say two worksheets, right, which are in different file, in the second file in one worksheet, right? Maybe worksheet A, worksheet one, right? You need to point a reference and you can use it. And it's very much available there in Excel help.
Perfect,
right?
perfect. So second part of my answer.
How Gen AI is
Correct.
helping you.
I'm coming to that. So this second part of my answer, which was still pending, this is something like a someone who is not an expert in Excel, like me, right? I don't know how to do that. So I can ask Gen AI. Definitely, directly I do, instead of learning the whole what you say Excel's capabilities from scratch. I can directly use it now. That's where the you can save some time. Right? That's the point where I'm highlighting here. You can use AI. Otherwise, yes, for definitely for experts like you will say that no, I prefer using the help because that's very useful thing. Perfect. So I hope I try to answer that point, right? So this is something like who is new to this and want to save some time. You have to switch the tab, but you can save some. Is that fine? Okay, sure. Thank you. All right, Swarna, you are there?
Yes, very much, Vishal. So,
yeah, sure. So let's take a break now.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, please take over.
Yeah, 10 minutes, right? We have what time?
Yes.
Resume.
8:05 or 8:05,
8:05.
8:05, or maybe you can suggest, no problem.
8:05 should be good. Okay, all right. So everyone, probably we can take a 10 minutes break, and then probably again we can resume with the further hands-on sessions, right? So probably how you are finding this session, please do let us know. We have also a form of a kind of link where we are creating as a feedback form. there you can let us know. And also we'll be going forward, we may require some of the inputs, you wanted to use, like, Mr. Seem have mentioned that in his, industry, like healthcare, how this can be, implemented, Gen AI, the tools basically. So if you wanted to have such kind of, discussion, we are open for it. Uh, we are also going to all the, industries and companies. We are creating lots of, value added, customized workshop based on their industry. And we also developing contents. We are also developing curriculum, which is as per the industry, as per the particular, division. And so that's how we are building, our competencies for the organizations. If you or your team, find our programs can be helpful for your teams, please do let us know, where we can, share you some of the programs, some of the, curriculum, and we can take this for the further level, right? Okay, so maybe for 5 minutes we can again come back, and meanwhile I'll request all the learners, if you have something to say about this program, you can open your camera, you can open your cam, and you can probably share your views. Ramesh sir, you would like to say something? Because I think I remember that we have spoken to you and we discussed about this program would be, to be very appropriate for the folks like the leaders like you.
Yes, sir. The class is very nice, sir. So we could able to see the practical examples, especially how to build the PPT, analyzing the Excel sheet. So all these things are very helpful, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ramesh sir. Ganesh-san, you would like to say something, how you find this kind of workshop will be, helpful going forward?
Yeah, it's really helpful. I mean, small tips are there, and it's really taking to the journey, like
Right.
to adopt this chat GPT or whatever that AI. So traditionally we are doing many things, but as this is like, I mean, this AI is changing the intelligence of humankind. So initially we used to think very traditionally or legacy kind of thinking process, but adding this AI, I think it is changing the way of thinking also. So I think this is helping a lot. So hopefully, I think after this we will have a little bit change in the thinking process, not going in a very traditional way, but with the AI.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Very true. Very true. Thank you, Ganesh. Mahesh, Payal, anyone, if you can say that this kind of programs, this kind of workshop will be, help you to build competencies.
I think it's a very useful session. I'm learning quite a bit. But, there are things where I still have some questions, but I think I'll, kind of catch up after the break.
Sure.
Because I have a few queries.
Absolutely.
Like, for instance, you've sent that Excel file. So, but in real life, I mean, if we have to do some calculations, can we import files and then put them in Chat GPT, and then do we see results there after doing after sharing prompts, etc.? So I have a few questions of that sort, but maybe we can discuss that later.
Yeah,
As a
sure.
session, I think it's very useful. There's lots to learn, lots to use. It is practically very applicable. It would definitely be productive in terms of time management, and it adds a lot of value. So yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you, Payal. Thank you so much. Yeah, absolutely right. It saves a lot of time, and being a leader, we all, need to understand that how we can save time, and our maybe the team members would be using it some of the other form, but how we can capitalize, that's what we are trying to focus on. Shraddha, you would like to? Yeah.
Hey, hi. No, this session is really helpful. I think a lot of tips, for day-to-day tasks, and obviously the history, evolution, and the way going forward. Everything is covered, I would say. So really interesting session. This step, especially for deck creation and all, will be really helpful. So yeah, it's a great session. Thank you.
Wonderful. Yeah, we will be having lots of hands-on sessions. I mean, after this break, I think another 5 minutes after, we will be doing lots of other hands-on. Before we, close our day, I'm sure that there will be a lot of takeaways.
Yeah.
Yeah. Himanshu, you would like to say something about this workshop? Gen AI for business leaders. Meanwhile, probably I go to Arif sir. Arif sir is joining from Oman. Arif sir, if you can let us know that how you are finding this session. Is it helpful, or is it going to help you in any of the form going forward? Looks like mute. Okay, no worries. So, Tanya, you would like to say something?
Yeah, actually, really helpful. And by seeing today's, I mean, it's everything is now practical. So he is explaining the things is excellent. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Tanya. Thank you. Yes, yes. We'll be having more hands-on sessions as we are, discussing. So definitely. All right. So maybe quick break would be grateful, and then we'll again probably we can team up with Prashant and another 4 minutes of time. Prashant, so we're looking forward in maybe 4 minutes break, and then probably Prashant is held up from the starting morning to evening. He has been a regular faculty for IIT Guwahati. I think his sessions are started from morning 7 o'clock till 9:30, 10 o'clock. It's keep going on. So 5 minutes, 10 minutes break is really, really crucial for him. So we'll again team up with Prashant in another 5 minutes. So just to ask you one thing, we have shared the recording access to those who have filled the form. If you haven't filled the form, I think you can fill it now. You can share it as your email ID. So accordingly, we can give you the access to those email IDs. I hope everyone got the access, right? Those who have shared at least.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope everyone has taken a quick break. Let me share the screen. All right. The next hands-on which I would like to highlight here is the sales report. Again, this is one of the business need always. Again, from a data set which is collected in any of the formats, converting that into a report is basically a tedious job. Though we have some of the tools, using AI is also an option. So I want to show how to use this AI for that purpose. So you can write a prompt. If you have a data set available in the form of Excel sheet or any other format, you can definitely pass it on to the GPT models, and you can definitely ask it to do an analysis of this. But as we know, right now, I'm not having such data set with me. So I will go with asking the model to generate such data. So this is my prompt. So you can see the prompt. I'm very specific about the company name and what the company is doing. And I expect, since I'm looking for a report on my business.
Prashant,
Yeah.
probably we can check quickly. Has everybody back from the break? Can you have a quick cheer or something, and at least just to see if you are back from the break?
Yeah, sure. So I hope everybody's back. Yes, Ganesh is there.
Okay. So others,
Yes.
please. Okay. Sir is mentioning. Yes. Okay. We can continue, right?
All right.
All right. Please.
So I asked the model to get me the data synthetically generated. I specify that, okay, I need two tables now, one for Feb 2024 and one for Jan 2023. And I give the names of the columns as per what we normally expect to be present in any of the financial data set, right? So I just add this and is generated. Okay, fine. Now, using this data set itself, I will ask the model to generate a sales report, right? I will specifically ask for, okay, give me these details in the data set. I already have written the prompt, so I'll just paste it. Okay, so I'll go step by step from the beginning. So use this data you have generated already to generate a sales report with the following section. So this is what I expect. One is the executive summary. So I need summary of including all the metrics for this data set. Then the top performers, identify top 3 products, right? And I also am asking for regional trend. Then I'm asking for year-over-year comparison and a forecast, right? So let's see what we get. So as said, it's giving the executive summary, total revenue, top products, regional trend, and top performing products, top sales representatives, according to the revenue, then the regional trend, and year-over-year comparison, sales forecast, right? So yes, if you have a practical data set related to your business, yes, you can definitely, right, use such prompts, and right, the whole analysis can be done very quickly. Okay. What I do, I will paste this in our chat itself, so that you can. Oh, sorry. It says that the length of the message is too long to paste. Okay, what I do when we share the document, right? So I will see to that all these prompts will be pasted in a single document, and I will send it over. Okay, so that you can even keep these prompts which were used in the hands-on sessions as reference with you. Okay, so I'll try to share that. I'll paste it in a document, and I will share. All right, so that's the next example. Please let me know if you have any thoughts on this. So that's about the report generation, very useful for the business leaders. Then
just one suggestion, Prashant. You can take it offline. Give a shot with Karma.app as well. Because I mean, I personally find that as a very useful tool for presentations, and pro version can include videos and images. So whenever you have free time, just give a shot with that as well.
Yeah, sure. Please type the name in the chat so that I can save it. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Right. So moving ahead, the next hands-on that I want to look here is the minutes of the meeting. Normally, we will be having the notes, something which we write down as a part of a meeting when we attend the meeting. And normally, team meetings are quite common related to the businesses. So what we are looking for here is, right, if you have the meeting notes available, right, in the form of a document, you can actually upload that, and you can ask the model to give me the minutes of the meeting. So a general prompt is what you see on the screen, right? But let's look at the let's make the model to write the notes first. Let's look at the notes, whatever it makes first related to a meeting which already occurred, and then we'll ask the model to generate the short meeting minutes about that. All right, so I'll go back to the chat GPT. I'll create a new chat, and let me type this is I try to set up the background for this. So I will make sure that assume something. So you are the marketing lead of so-and-so company. You already have attended a marketing team meeting on this day discussing about the marketing campaigns. So generate a meeting notes as per the best of your knowledge and creativity, right? Normally what happens when you say just like that and you run this, it actually leaves places for names. So it simply says, okay, write name here, right? Write the name of the team leader over here, write the member one's name here, like that. It actually puts some placeholders. So I'm asking that, okay, don't put any placeholders. Either you put your names or simply call it as like marketing team lead, marketing manager, social media specialist, content writer. As it is, you can put the positions over there. So that's what I mean by do not put any of the placeholders for names. Yeah, even if I say it's doing that, sorry, I don't know why. Let's run this again. Right? Sometimes this is what happens, right? Unexpected results will come, right? We cannot use. I say do not use placeholder for means. Let's see what happens. Yeah, now we see it actually puts some name. So corresponding to the different discussion of different topics that happened in the meeting, you can see that, yes, this is how all of them are noted down. So this is just a that happened. Now I still have to ask the question. So I will ask the model to summarize. So this is my prompt. Summarize the key decisions made during yesterday's meeting and regarding the upcoming meeting, right? I can even write the date, anyway, it knows the date, so I can remove this. On the upcoming meeting, what's going to come in the next. So concentrate on the following points, like key decisions, action items, next steps, and assign ownership of each of the action to different members of the team. So it has to collect this information from the notes, and it has to generate a summary of it. Okay, so actions have been allocated, key decisions are highlighted, and what are the next steps have been selected. Okay, I hope this is useful. Let me know what are your thoughts on this. So that's the prompt which is written. So normally we will be having the notes available with us, right? In the soft copy format, we can upload to the ChatGPT and write a prompt directly. Okay, so let me go ahead with one more very important and interesting usage of Gen AI. This is content creation. And normally the marketing of any product that requires search engine optimization as one of the primary aspect, plus writing the text in a very attractive fashion, right? So that everybody gets interested in the product. They will read your the details of your product. At least if whenever you are, this can be the case whenever you post ads in, let's say, social media accounts, right? So this is an example prompt, what you see on the screen. Develop a social media post promoting some product, right? You just have to target a particular age group, and right, you give some information, make it a creative, engaging tone, right? This is what is a normal way of prompting. But this is an application which I want to consider in the hands-on, which will be very useful. So let's go back to the ChatGPT and let me try to write this prompt. Let me give some information first related to a product that my company is launching, let's assume. So I'm going to give some information about the company's name. The product that we are going to launch is, say, AI massager. Then I want to post ads or some information related to this product in Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. You can even add YouTube, etc. So who is the target audience? You can specify. Then the product description. This product has all these features. You can add as required. Then this is where the prompt actually begins. Develop a creative and engaging SEO social media post and video prompting launch of our new product. And I'll give information about what this video contains. So I'm actually posting a video as along with the social media content. So I want the text explaining the product needs to be prepared by the model, which is expected to be search engine optimized. I'll give some details so that it can use the keywords required. So I'll say that video contains eye-catching visuals, product and showing the short video showcasing the product in action. I want the model to write concise and catchy caption with highlights of the product key benefits, right? So that this target age audience can see this, right? Use the relevant emojis, hashtags to increase the reach. And this is a call of action. And at the end, I want 10 keywords along with the hashtags, right? So this is what I'm asking in the form of a prompt. Anyway, you can modify this content as per the requirement, but this is what it says at the end. Right. So this is the explanation it is giving related to the product. And you can see a lot of hashtags in the middle, right? Using them as a keywords. SEO keywords have been listed out. And at the end, as I asked, hashtags are also present over here. So this definitely you can modify according to your, you can give a lot of other information related to what exactly is your product doing, right? Anyway, you know that the prompt engineering plays a very crucial role here, but since our intention is not to concentrate on the prompt that you write, we are looking at the application. So this is the other application which I want to highlight. Okay, so I will give a few minutes of time. So please try to write your own prompt for search engine optimization. Assume that you are going to post a social media content. There is something like there is a product which you want to launch, let's assume, or it can be even simple YouTube video. You have traveled somewhere, you want to upload a YouTube video, and you want to write a SEO content explaining that video for you, right? So please try that. I'll give 2 minutes of time, and once you are done, please share your screen and we'll discuss. Okay, so everyone, please try this. Writing prompt for search engine optimized contents. Assume that you have a video, you traveled somewhere, you have captured the video, and you want to post that video in YouTube. So the explanation needs to be written over there containing search engine optimized words, hashtags, keywords, etc. Okay, so once you are done, please let me know. Please share your screen and we can discuss. Yes, Shraddha. I will be sharing all these prompts. Okay, so you will get along with the slides. I will share one more document that contains all the prompts that have been used in the hands-on sessions. Okay.
Sure. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you. Anyone, if you have completed, please share the screen.
Hi, I just wanted to check, where can you upload a video? I mean, in ChatGPT?
No, you cannot upload any video to this. Video cannot
Right,
be
so
updated.
okay.
You cannot upload, okay? So what you can do is you can upload some of the files, specifically PDF or smaller files up to 5 MB in the paid version of ChatGPT. That's all. You cannot
Okay.
upload videos.
Okay.
Okay. Anybody, if you have completed prompting and you have a result to share, to discuss, please go ahead.
Hi.
Hello, Tanya.
Yeah, I have written the content because I was just looking for the 2 lines.
Okay.
I'll just share it. So
Yeah,
I've
please,
written
please.
the learn. Are you able to see my screen?
Not yet. Maybe it will come in a minute.
1 second. Yes. Is it fine now?
Yes, we can see the screen now.
Yes. So I was just looking for the 2 lines of content to post on the social media. So I have written the learn digital marketing to improve your business. Create 2 lines of content for social media post. So I got this result with the hashtag.
Yes, yes. You see that it understands that it's a social media post, so it expects at least some of the hashtags, right? So perfect.
Yes.
So it
Yes.
has
And
some
I
idea
was,
about, correct. Yeah,
yeah,
please go ahead.
yeah. And I was looking for only 2 lines because sometimes social media is having the limitations. We cannot go for the more lines of posting. So because of that, I have just mentioned it. If I'm mentioning it as a 3 lines, 4 lines, so it is going to give me the exact result, right?
Yes, yes, yes. So whenever you specify the output format that you're looking for, the model restrict itself, its output only to that. So definitely.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Yes, sure. Thank you. Thank you, Tanu. Anybody else? Please, one or two, if you can show what exactly you have done, what you have written, we'll discuss and we'll go ahead. Okay, so this is very important for me to understand what you have done. So that's why I'll wait for maybe 1 more minute so that one or two of you can show your screens and discuss.
Can I go ahead?
Sure, Ganesh, please go ahead.
Yeah, let me just share the screen. Can you see my screen?
Yes, yes, Ganesh, we can see the
Yeah,
screen.
I just tried a small thing like we want to launch a video surveillance product in the world. It will be used in various domains like railways, fire, airport, and police. Please prepare a marketing video. Also use emojis wherever needed and prepare launching presentation with hashtags.
Very nice.
So it has given something, but looks like, I mean, as you said correctly, prompting needs to be refined because it is mixing something like it is not in a proper way. So maybe I
Correct.
think the story needs to be um, narrated very well, and then we
Yes.
can have, I think, the exactly the output that we want. But
Yes,
nothing,
yes,
I
yes.
mean, it's quite okay. But only one thing I am a little bit while reading it, somewhere it has given only V. So is it the problem with it, or here if you see This presentation can be used alongside the marketing video to provide comprehensive overview of the
it thinks that VDO as a product. It's not taking what is this VDO stands for in your this thing. Is it referring to video or simply VDO?
Video. So probably we have to write that VIDEO something.
You see that? Can you go back to the point where you showed V?
Yeah.
Next line contains DO. If you see that V and DO.
Yeah.
That's the thing. So that's all. Because there is something called as the whole text will be split into tokens. And when this model splitted the word VDO, V fell into one of the token, DO was the other token. So it actually VDO is VDO has no meaning in actual English, so it actually got confused. That's the only reason why.
I think we need to be very careful while.
Yeah. Other than that, otherwise, if you would have written VIDEO, then definitely it would have understood. Okay, so anyway, that's fine. So other than that, if you give a little bit of more information, definitely this is going to give you what you are expecting, at least close to that, for sure. Okay.
Yeah, sure.
All right. Thank you. Thank you for sharing.
I will stop my sharing.
Yes. Anyone else? At least one of you. I request you to share the screen and discuss what you have, what you obtained as a result of the search engine optimization related prompts. Anyone? All right. So let me know if you get any doubt whenever you execute that prompt. Okay. So I will go ahead. We will move on to the next topic that's going to come here. And this is related to, say, yeah. Okay, this is related to the fine-tuning part. Now, as we already have discussed earlier, there are two basic classes of users of these Gen AI. One is non-coders. We will not be using any coding techniques to use these models. And in such case, the fine-tuning will happen only by using prompts itself, right? Later on, we will also discuss about the fine-tuning that's going to happen using coding, right? I'll come to that slightly later. But right now, since we are discussing for the usage of Gen AI by non-coders, let's see how we will be using prompts to fine-tune. All right. So anyway, all of you are using the ChatGPT, and right. So let's try to use these prompts now, and let's try to implement them. And let's look at the fine-tuning part. This is something like a multi-shot prompt, right? So I'll take an example from finance, and this is a scenario. You need a concise financial news summary, but lack time for detailed research. You may not have enough time for doing the research, but you need a financial summary of news, right? So you start with a very basic or very general one-shot prompt, right? In this case, again, the name says Bard, where this example I started with the Bard when Google launched the Bard. So that's why the name still says Bard. You don't have to write Bard. Simply ask that, summarize the top financial news stories for today. Right. So again, I have observed different types of answers from different products or different models. Earlier days, the Bard was able to give some answers for this, right? Okay, let's try to do something. Let's try to apply. Let's try to run this and check in ChatGPT. So this is my question. This is my prompt. I simply ask, summarize job. Today, let's see. Okay, so yes, this is what I was trying to highlight. So different types of answers are possible from different products or different models. For example, the GPT-4, which is or GPT 3.5, which is used in Chat GPT, has no access to internet. So you see that this model was trained maybe in the last year. So right now you don't get any answer to this. Okay, I want you to try the same thing in Bard. In the sense Gemini, sorry, Bard is now Gemini, so you will be using Gemini for this purpose. Or the Copilot, where though the Copilot uses this same model used by ChatGPT, that is GPT-4, the Microsoft has customized that so that it can actually access internet. So when you write this on a Copilot or Gemini, even the Google has made sure that the model can actually access even internet to answer the questions that you ask. So you will get the solution over in ChatGPT. This is the answer. You say that I'm an AI, I don't have access to real-time data, so I cannot answer this question. Right? So you see that it's model specific. Some of the models will give this kind of answer for sure. Right? But yes, other models, right, it will definitely try to give you answer. So I want you to compare this. Right. So yes, Ramesh is saying that yes, GPT-4 is showing the news. Right. So are you using the paid version of ChatGPT or you are using the Copilot?
Yeah, paid version.
Paid version, right? Yes. So paid version has a lot of other capabilities. There are you can even use some of the extensions over there, right? So that's really good, right? So if you use that, the GPT-4, yes, you can get the answer. So mine is limited version, free version. So you can see the answer that it is showing. Other tools like Gemini is also going to give you answer. Okay, I'll go back to the slide. So you can continue writing prompts if you got answer for the previous prompt. Now, I'm trying to refine the results. So this is where the fine tuning of results come into picture for non-coders. Based on the previous prompt, identify 2 stocks is what I'm asking for most significant price moment and right. What could be the reasons, etc. You can ask many questions over there. So the model will fine tune the answer it gave earlier, and you can get the answer according to the next question. Then you see I asked a highly focused question. So considering the previous prompt, analyze the impact of news on whichever is the first stock and the second stock, and also explain, right? Can you buy? Can you sell? What are the opportunities? Etc. So Bard will analyze that, whatever data set you have. Again, I'm referring to Bard because this was done during the time of Bard. So that's why. Then as progressively I keep concentrating more and more towards one topic, you can see that model performs that fine tuning in the results, and you keep getting better and better results. Okay, so I'll give 1 minute. If anyone has the results to show, please go ahead and please let me know, and you can definitely show and we can discuss on this.
Yeah, Prashant. So I gave a few prompts on Gemini for
Sure.
summarize the top financial news stories for today. So
Okay.
looks like I can share my screen.
Yes, please.
Let me know once you're able to see.
Yes, Shraddha, we can see the screen.
Okay. So I said summarize the top financial news stories for today. So looks like it gave only for India, is what I can see majorly, location based.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe that's a part coming from the Google itself. The Google
Yes.
identifies your location and location based. It keeps
Yeah, so
track
if,
of our location. Perfect. Yeah.
yeah, so if I
Okay.
see here in the recent, it says, India financial news summary.
Right. Correct.
Yeah, and then I said, give me the world news including India, just like that. But it didn't take up on the previous prompt that I'm looking only for the financial news.
Right.
I
Correct.
think it took the general prompt, right? And
Correct.
then I asked again.
Okay. Now, are you getting a financial in the last
Again,
thing?
there aren't major financial news stories for other countries or financial markets.
Okay.
Since it's Sunday,
Possible. That's one more reason.
yeah. So it is written that since it's Sunday, financial markets are closed and there isn't much
Ah.
breaking financial news today.
Right. So we can understand that Gemini has access to the internet. That's
Yeah.
free version itself is available, whereas the
Yeah.
ChatGPT's free version is not capable. Paid version is capable. Perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you, Shraddha, for sharing. Anybody else? Do you want to share your screen and show the prompts that you have written?
Yes, sure, I can showcase.
Yeah, sure. Please go ahead.
Okay. So I use
We can see the screen.
GPT-4. Okay. Okay, sorry. Summarize the top financial news for today. So it has given the global news, especially Credit Suisse, Goldman Sachs, all this information it has given.
Okay.
And then I just asked it the top 2 stocks that has grown significant moment. It has given some global stocks, and then I asked it, specific to Indian market, and then I think, so it didn't give any further information. Yeah, it has suggested something like Sumeda Finance, Fiscal Services, Universal Auto Foundry. Somewhere it has suggested Yes Bank also, showing that significant movement is there. And then I asked, like, what are the stocks I could buy or sell. So for this, it didn't give any information. It just gave some theoretical advice.
Right. Correct.
Whereas
Yes.
in the Gemini, it has given, when asked the news, it has given specific to Indian news.
Correct. Right, that's right. Maybe because as we discussed with the Shraddha, right, the case is like it's tracking that Indian location and it assumes that okay, you will buy only Indian stock, maybe, correct?
Yeah.
So that could be the possibility, right? So that's very nice, Ramesh. You tried. Thank you for sharing. So one more example I want to discuss here is related to the marketing concepts. Again, the fine-tuning examples will start with a ideation prompt, which could be a very simple, straightforward, one-shot prompt. Generate creative social media posts, right? Very similar to that. So earlier we gave a lot of details in the first prompt itself so that it could generate the whole SEO text in a single shot. But now I'm not doing that. I start with the a idea, then I keep fine tuning. Refinement will happen after that, right? So initially I asked that, okay, generate so and so post ideas, launching a fitness tracker, right? And target exactly this audience. Then I perform a refinement in the second prompt. Okay, so you can see that there is a refinement that is happening in the prompt number 2, and the prompt number 3 is actually tailoring, right? So give 2 variations in terms of the caption, right, for the Facebook as well as Instagram. What could be, what is the suggestion from the Gen AI for Facebook related captions and the Instagram related captions? So maybe I will select after looking at the answers that it is going to give. So I'm asking in this way, right? So this is what we can normally ask. Okay, give me 2 or 3 options, and then I will select which one to go, which one to select, etc. We can definitely do that. So start with an idea, refine, and keep refining until you get this. Meanwhile, in the middle, you can even ask for multiple options. Okay, so that's the marketing related point, right? So I will go further because we have many more things to come. There are many things to discuss. So I'll go with one more part. So that's advertisement part. So let's look at the fine tuning using the prompts, how this can be done. All right. So first one is a straightforward concept. So my scenario is that I have to develop a captivating advertising tagline for eco-friendly streaming product license. So I give a concept in prompt 1. It's a single shot prompt. Generate a tagline to emphasize eco-friendly nature of so and so. Now this, since we are not providing a lot of information related to what type of cleaning products you are using, you are simply saying that it is eco-friendly, but how, we are actually not specifying. And what exactly I'm looking in the output is also I'm not specifying. So this output can be very pretty much general. Once you read this particular output, we expect that we'll do a refinement of this. So select the taglines that are catchy, memorable, and clearly communicate the product's environmental benefit. So out of the previous results, it's going to refine and fine tune. And finally, you perform a testing, right? This is a prompt 3. I'm asking to rephrase the chosen tagline in a way that would resonate with some younger demographic. So this part is going to further refine the previous answers, and it also is going to rephrase the content. Okay, so I will give 1 minute of time just for you to test this. Okay, so let me know if you have any results that you would like to share and discuss, right?
So Prashant, should we try again with the Bard? I mean Gemini or the
Any
GPT?
tool, any tool that you prefer, you can use. Okay.
Yeah.
So we know that the results are going to differ from model to model. So ultimately, we have to decide which tool suits our requirements, which tool gives most, whichever tool gives closest answer to what we expect. Like you can stick to that tool ultimately for your business purposes. Okay, so for that you may have to do a little bit of trial and error with the different tools, right, and explore their capabilities, satisfying your requirements for for your business needs. Then you can select that, okay, I'll select the Bard. Even Bard has, Gemini has its pro version. You can pay around 1,950 rupees and you can purchase that as well. Okay, so even the Copilot has its paid version. You can pay certain amount, and I think that's $20, and you can get that as well. So all right, so anybody has the results? If you have the results for one or two prompts from this, kindly share your screen just to show that what's the results that you have obtained and which tool you have used, so that we can also understand the results, and then we'll go ahead. Anybody? Do you have results? Have you tried? Okay, so anyway, you keep trying. If you get any doubt, you have any inputs, you can ask any at any point of time. All right, so let me move further. So we'll look at a very small part of Gen AI for developers, right? Because some of you maybe you were a developer earlier, so you definitely would like to explore that part as well. So I will introduce you to the development side usage of this Gen AI. All right. So for that reason, let's quickly look at what you can. So if you are a coder or a developer, Gen AI basically offers you an even deeper level of engagement. This advanced approach requires strong foundation of programming language such as Python, which is very widely used, and relevant libraries, right? So you have to be a programmer, you have to know, or if you want to use the Gen AI in the development side, you have to learn the coding language. If you are using Python, definitely the libraries required for Python also needs to be incorporated. Okay, so that's what is a requirement. With this, if you have that expertise, you can unlock a lot of exciting possibilities. And imagine that you are building entirely new LLM from scratch, very specifically tailored to your very unique need. Alternatively, you could fine-tune the existing open source models so that you can excel at a specific task. That's also possible. And this level of control empowers you to develop, say, very good applications, including chatbots, virtual assistants, other innovative business solutions for sure. While immensely powerful, this approach comes with a steeper learning curve, and it requires a significant development time. So normally developers use open source models that are available, right? And they try to fine tune that, but still though the model development work is not there, Still the fine tuning is going to take some time. So there is a learning curve as well as the development time for sure for this kind of usage of the LLMs or the generative AI. So the ongoing maintenance of these custom models is another factor which we have to consider if we want to use these generative AI models under the development mode. Okay, so that's what I want to give an introduction part for this. All right, so the tool which we will be discussing here for the development is the same ChatGPT, but the ChatGPT has its playground version. All right, so you can see on the screen, I have opened this. So it's a platform.openai.com/playground. So this actually asks you to log in initially. So you may have to log in using the credentials. Is there a mobile app for ChatGPT? Yes, yes. We have a app for ChatGPT. You can download in your mobiles from the app stores. All right, so this is the OpenAI playground, which you will have to use. So some of the features will be collected from here, because whenever you are going to use it for the development purpose, right? You will pay for the usage of their models. So that's why you need to create a account here. You can use it, you can log in with the same credentials you use for ChatGPT, but this playground usage is completely different compared to the paid version or the free version of the ChatGPT. Both are different. So you have to pay for this, right? So this is paid version only. There is no free version at all. All right, so you come to the playground, and normally you will go to the settings here. You can check out, right? Like, are you using in the team format? What are the limits, right? You can see that each of, if you are using GPT 3.5 in the development phase, right? So this is tokens per minute. Okay, and this actually RPD stands for requests per minute. So that's the maximum capability what you can use. So there is a billing corresponding to that. Let me check. Yeah, view the usage. You can even check at the usage. I have not been using this, so you can see my license has been expired completely. So I don't have any limit over here. So I'm not using this, right? When I created this content, we have used that earlier. So I will shift to the the PPT later, where I have a snapshot of every step that I'm using. Okay, what will be used over here. So you can check your activities, right? And very important thing is this API key. So there is a API key. So this is a secret key. Previously, this was open. Whenever I opened this page, everybody could see this, but now they have hidden that. Okay, so this simply say that there's a key here. You can go to this edit option and you can copy that. So that is a key required whenever you are writing a code in Python and you want to use the GPT models that is supported by the OpenAPI. So whichever model you want to use from OpenAPI, this API key is what you need to use in your code, so that that particular model will be used by your program, and they will be able to charge for the usage. So how much tokens you are using. So according to the model that you have chosen, you will be charged. I will show you the charge, how much, what will be the charge in the upcoming slides as well. Okay, so you have to get familiar with this API. This is one option that's all. So most commonly used the API is this Open API, and you just have to know that what is your API key. So normally there is a default API key when you log in here and when you check this. But when you come here, you want to create a new, what you say, new API. Yes, definitely you can do that. Okay, so there are many other options here, but right now I'm not going to touch that because we are not going to discuss the development phase in pretty much detail. So whatever we needed, I try to cover that. Okay, so API key is something which everybody has to know. If you want to enter into the development phase and you want to use these models as in the development version. Okay, so this was the older view of the same API when I recorded the particular content, right? So this was in slightly different format. That's all. Okay, so I will go ahead. So whenever you open this, you can see that, right? So these are the different things come. So usage, etc. I already have shown you. So look at the limit, right? So this is the limit: 3,500 RPM, 90,000 TPM, etc. That's what comes in the limit, right? You have a lot of models available, right? And you can check that when you have time. So API key I mentioned. So that's how you get a default API key whenever you open it for the first time. But definitely you can create different API keys, and you can use them for multiple products as and when required, right? So that's what I wanted to. I already have highlighted about this. Okay, so there is something called as a tokenizer inside this, which is very helpful to understand how these models are going to split our text into different tokens. So initially, while discussing yesterday, I tried to mention that each word in the text that you enter in the form of a prompt will be considered as a token. But when you come here and when you analyze the tokenizer in the Open API platform, you will understand one thing. So that is, it's not going to consider every word in the form of a token. A word can be further split into many tokens as well. Example, mathematical, you can see MAT is a token. HEMATI is another token. ICAL is another token. So earlier we understood that everything is token based. Per token, you will be charged. Per 10,000 tokens, this is the charge. Like that. That's how the Open API is charging us whenever we use this. Okay. So how the tokens will be formed? Again, this is specific to the Open API. That's the ChatGPT. If we are using a different tool, this will definitely change. Okay, the tokenizing technique is completely different because their vector database is different. Their embedding technique is different. So based on that, the model will perform differently in a different model such as Gemini or Copilot or anywhere. So this tokenization is, we can visualize how for a given text, how many tokens will be used, right? And how many characters are considered, etc. You can definitely explore here. There is an option called tokenizer. So that's the thing here. And you can see the charge, right? There are a different context available. There is a 8K context. So this 8K is number of tokens it can remember. So if you look at the ChatGPT, normally I keep on typing prompts, and even let's say that I wrote 10 prompts. For each of the 10 prompts, the model has given me some answers. And in the 11th prompt, I can actually refer to the very first prompt or the second prompt I have written. Correct? So this is actually the memory capacity. How many tokens it can remember. So that number, depending upon the capability of this memory, the models have been differentiated. There is a 8K context, means it can remember up to 8,000 tokens. So once your total prompts in a discussion, in a messaging, once you extend this 8K, 8,000 tokens, there is a tendency that the model forgets what happened previous to these 8,000, most recent 8,000, the same, most recent 8,000 tokens. So this is quite obvious. You might have observed this already in any of your chats. You keep on chatting, and you extend this. It's not 8K for free version. Free version is just 4K, 4,000. So ChatGPT 3.5 supports up to 4,000. So you extend this 4,000, the model's answer keeps deviating from what was your original context. You define a context in the very first prompt message. It understands and it keeps on giving the answer according to that context. But when you extend this 4,000, right, answer deviates. So this can be observed. All right. So depending upon this memory, you can see the charging also varies. There is a model which remembers 8K context, right? $0.03, 3 cents, 0.03 cents for 1 kilo tokens. Completion this is the answer part. So for answering, you have to pay that much. So same thing goes with the 30K context. This is a larger model, more capable model. You see the price is more. This is going to remember 32,000 tokens in your chat. So that's why it is expecting you to pay more. Okay, so we need to remember all these whenever.
Excuse me? Can I ask you one question over here?
Yes, please go ahead, Asim.
All right, you said that it's in the memory.
Yes.
Which memory? Client side, server side?
It's the model side. If you remember yesterday's concept, right? There was RNN, recurrent neural network, remembers only one word at a time. We extend that to something called as LSTM.
8,000 contexts we are talking about, right? So
yes.
which memory?
In the model.
In the model.
Yes, inside the model that you are using. If you are using GPT 3.5, this memory I'm referring to that model.
So that is not going to be saved everywhere?
No, it will not be saved because model is capable of understanding the language and memorizing the context in which you are having a chat with the model. So that context can extend up to 8,000. Yes. Yeah. Please go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. So that is why it used to give the different prompts whenever you are asking, right?
Correct. That's the same reason.
Okay.
All right. Coming back to the same question, if there is anything happening or happen on the server where that model is kept around, so say physical reboot because of any XYZ reason, right?
Okay.
So whatever has been saved in the model's memory, that would be lost.
Yes, correct.
Again, we have to work from scratch to build all those 8,000 contexts.
It is something like all these models parameters are numbers. Okay. So there is a facility that they will back up all these numbers and save it somewhere.
Back up where?
It's you can put it into a in the form of let's say a array. You can put it in an array and you can store it in any computer.
But it's not a physical memory, right? So whenever there is a server reboot, that's lost.
No, the actual model which you are saying, let's say it is a server. Okay, so where if the connection goes, as you said, yes, it loses the memory, right? But I'm saying all these models have hyperparameters called weights. So using the weights of the models are able to perform any task. These numbers can be stored anywhere, right? Like how I store an array. In an array contains any set of any numbers, right? So all those weights as a parameters can be copied and saved in somewhere else, so that whenever you want to restore it, you can. Is that am I able to answer that question?
All right, I'm getting back. I'm getting back.
Okay.
So
okay, sure.
We have saved a local array, right? And every time we are processing our request, we are passing up the inputs from that array to our model.
Okay.
Right?
No. Every time you process a request, you don't have to restore it. This is just a backup, I'm saying. The array is just a backup.
If something happens to the server, it got lost.
Okay.
The memory got lost, right?
Okay. In that case, you are saying, yes, you will restore. Okay, perfect. Go ahead.
And is that secure? Nobody, my question is, what's the security if I'm keeping my sensitive data into a model, right, which is sitting somewhere else on some other server, right? What's the security guarantee that
So
nobody
as
can
of now,
breach my data?
correct. I understand. I understood the question. Can I answer?
Yeah, please.
Yes. See, that's why if you are using these kind of models, right? The Chat GPT or the OpenAI clearly says that don't put any of your confidential data in the form of a prompt, or don't give it over here, right? Even the companies are not allowing the employees to use the Chat GPT OpenAI inside their premises because of the same reason. So there is a security issue. So if you want this to be secured, you build your own model and take the responsibility of the security of that model. That's what is the current scenario. I don't know how it's going to change in future, but currently any model that exists over here, the vendor always suggests that don't put any of your confidential data to this model.
Got it. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, sure. Any other question?
So just one basic question. You mentioned some 8,000 tokens, right? How big is each token could be?
Yeah, how to identify the token? That's why I had shown one slide here. This token size varies from model to model. The Chat GPT says that if you give a word like mathematical, I'm going to split it into 3 tokens. Okay, like that. This varies. So overall, you see that I gave 2 lines of lines in my prompt. It says the OpenAI says that, okay, these 2 lines which you have given in the form of a prompt contains 31 tokens. There are no 31 words, but still it says that I'm going to consider this as 31 tokens. This is what they have defined. Okay, so if we are using any model of supported by the Open API, we have to agree to their rules, and they will define how many tokens are there, right? So very similar to the text, you can see that image models are also there inside the Open API. If you want to use them, this is how you will pay, right? According to the resolution of the images that you use, you will have to pay different amounts. So anyway, you can explore this when you go inside the OpenAI playground, and a lot of other informations are there. I just wanted to highlight a little bit of that. Anyway, our goal is to do the programming, right? Let's assume that we have satisfied the fundamental requirements of knowing Python as well as the libraries of Python. And if you want to use this Open API related models, and you want to do the coding. So anyway, I highlighted that you need to know the API key, right? So API key, you can directly copy and paste it here. I actually have blurred that on this region just to say that, okay, so sorry. Yeah, so this is the region where we actually paste this API, right? So this is the Jupyter notebook where you can write the Python codes and execute, right? So you can use any other tools like any other environment where you can run the Python code, right? Anywhere you want. Spider is also fine. Okay. The Jupyter notebooks are present inside the Anaconda. You can download Anaconda tool and you can directly open the Jupyter notebook and you can start typing the code, right? So as I mentioned earlier, what we need basically is this Open API, and you bring the API, you specify that, okay, this is my API key, and use that API key for the upcoming code. That's what I specify in this particular part of the code. And I check that what is my Open API key, it actually prints. So that's why I even blurred that. So you are not able to see that. Okay, right. It's highly confidential because Open API says that we are not responsible if somebody else start using your API key, and you will be charged for that, right? So that's the reason. Even if you are using your open API keys for demonstration, please don't disclose that to anyone else. Okay, so there is a very specific way of writing these codes. So since development is not our discussion right now, so I'm not going in pretty much detail about this way of coding, right? So you see that we can specify which model we want to use, right? So that's the model, and you can ask a prompt here. Prompt equal to the color of car was. All right, so that's a prompt, and I will ask for this is the prompt which will be passed to this particular model. You can change the model, you can look at the pricing, and whichever you are comfortable, you can actually paste the name of the model over here. Since the API key is mentioned, your account will be charged for using that particular model for those many number of tokens. That's all, right? So that will go to the model will run that, and the result will come in the response. You can see here the response. Since we are not using their GUI, the ChatGPT GUI, you may not see the result in the very neatly structured format. We have to get adjusted to that, because this is where the development part. This is how the development part takes the results into picture. This actually gives a lot of other options, but if you see here, right? Like this is how the result will be shown. Okay, this actually shows that, okay, what are the different choices you have, right? What is the index? What's the text that is present over here, right? When it was created, what is the ID of this, etc. You can see there, right? So that's how the result comes into picture, right? So you can see here the result in the form of a text somewhere here. Can you see blue? That's the answer given by the model. So this is something like when the model was trained, right? It has observed that there is a highest probability in the world that the color of a car is blue. This is what it has observed. It may not be true, right? Maybe the most widely used color is, let's say, gray or white or black. Maybe that's a reality. But in the training data that particular model, which is text DaVinci 003 was trained, among that data set, blue is the highest probable, color. That's why it says that. Okay, so since you are doing the development phase, you get a lot of other information about this, right? So as of now, I'm not going to discuss about that, right? So we'll go ahead. Change the model, right? For GPT 3.5 Turbo, right? I can actually ask another question, right? Saying this, describe the generative AI in one sentence, right? So, and you can see that this is the answer. The message it gives is generative AI refers to type of so and so and so. Okay, so that's how I can change the models, and I can actually, right, ask different types of questions. A lot of things are there here, even like you can set a context, how to set a context, how to say that, consider this as an example and give an answer. A lot of things are there in the development phase as well. But I would just like to show you that, okay, some little bit, very basic things only I'm trying to consider over here. This is how you interact with the model. So model interaction was the very first phase, which I try to show you some of the screenshot. Very important aspect is you should know your API key, and you should know the Python programming and the libraries and how to write these codes. You have to know. Only after getting that expertise, we will be able to write this code flawlessly. All right, so that's the very first phase which I wanted to discuss under this scenario. So quickly, I will try to touch the second aspect, which is very important. That's the fine tune. How a developer can fine tune. Because earlier we said that for non-coders, there is no fine tuning option of the model, right? You have a model, you simply have to write a prompt and you have to modify and get fine-tuned results. That's all. You cannot train the model by yourself. Even if you have your own data set, you cannot train. But as a developer, you have that option. Okay, so here you can see that, yes, you import various libraries that are required. For this example, we are importing just 4 different libraries: OpenAI, OS, Pandas, and JSON. Right. I bring in the OpenAPI key just to justify, just to know that, okay, I'm the person who is using, and I will be charged from my account. Right. So see here, there is a data set. Now you see this is an actual training of a model. You have a training data set readily available with you, which is in the CSV format, training data.csv. Okay, I will show you what is there inside the training data.csv. So I have collected different positive and positive and negative reviews and the classes corresponding to that. You see here, sun is anyway, it's not completely visible, but fine. You understand that a statement and it, whether it is positive or negative, I have written over there in the second column. So there are several rows of actual text, and the second column corresponding to that text will be the actual class. So I want to retrain the existing model inside the OpenAPI and fine-tune its performance according to my data set. This is what I'm trying to do here. This is my data set. That data set is what is inside this training data.csv. That's the file which contains, right, the training data. That data snapshot I have shown here. Okay, let's go ahead. Now, what I'm trying to do here is that, again, all these steps are clearly mentioned inside the documentation of the OpenAPI, right? So you can even refer that. But anyway, I'll share you this slides. You can keep it as a reference. So the steps given by the OpenAPI's documentation says that you have to convert this into a JSON file, right? Saying that this is my text prompt and this is the answer. So text and answer in the form of a JSON file, you have to save it. So you can see here, this is how I'm converting the data set which I have collected into a JSON format. Okay, so this particular cell, right, contains the code of conversion of my text data into a JSON format. It's a CSV file which I have collected. I'm converting that into the JSON file. So this is required. This is a requirement from OpenAPI side. All right. So I'm just doing. Okay. So now the next step is you have to follow this in the command prompt. So you can see this, right? The pip install upgrade OpenAPI. So even if you have the OpenAPI library present inside in your system, you have to upgrade it. This will be the first step. So you upgrade. So it says already requirement is satisfied. So that means you have the most recent version of that. Then it says that, right, set the OpenAPI key, right? So set is a keyword. You use set OpenAPI key equal to, then you copy the API key from your account, and I have blurred that over here. Again, you can see that that's present here, right? Then OpenAPI tools fine-tunes dot prepare data -f. This is the JSON file which you had created, right? So training underscore data dot JSON. So just now you see here, previous slide, I can show you that. You see here, this is training underscore JSON data dot JSON, which I have created, right? That's the requirement. So that will be used here. So I'm saying that, okay, OpenAPI will use this as the data. The JSON will be converted into the prepare data is a function which is present over there. It's going to use that. All right. So once it is done, it's going to take some time. It depends upon various aspects, like even my computer speed, the internet speed, etc. Many parameters will be there. But ultimately, once it is done, you can see that this is the very last line of your directory. When you observe what is there inside your directory, this will be present over there. Training underscore data underscore prepared dot JSON. This is the prepared JSON. Okay, so previous one was training data dot JSON, which you have created from your data set. Now training data prepared dot JSON is something which the previous execution of the very last line you can see here, right? This resulted in this particular JSON file. Okay, so these are the very standard steps one has to follow. That's all. There is nothing unique that I have done here. All right, very, very straightforward, very simple. right? Now you see that the next command that you will write here is open AI API fine-tunes.create -t. So this is the next command. So training underscore data dot prepared dot JSON is already existing. I'm actually asking that, okay, use it and proceed further. So the same command you will write. So this is going to take time depending upon my computer's speed as well as internet once again. So this took actually 15 minutes in my system at that time. Last year, this was executed and this took that much time. And you will see this progress slowly. All right. So this will start from 0 and it will reach 100. It's going to take some time. So that is actually you are training their model. Whichever model you have chosen, using your data set, you are actually tuning the model. This is the fine tuning because model is generally trained. But now you are training on your data set. This is how the fine tuning happens for the trained model, which is you are paying them and using their model and tuning for according to your data set. Okay, so once that is done, this actually keeps on showing you the progress, and at the end completed epoch number 4, and you will see something like this, right? So this is the model, right? FT personal tool, there's something, some details will come over there, and at the end you will see fine tune succeeded. If there is any error, right, and you may have to go back to the previous step and run that code once again, right, inside the command window. This will repeat and you will get until and unless you get a fine tune successful, it's not complete. All right. So this says that you can directly write your prompt here itself if required. Okay. So this is how you can write that. There, wherever it says your prompt, you can type a prompt over. And right, this model evaluates that prompt and gives you the answer. But I'll go back to the code, right? So in this code, you can see that I'm actually using the same model. So you can see that this was the model it actually had created. It said that, okay, this is your fine-tuned model. So I'm saying that Open API model is that. And this is the same way, how do you write the code, right? So you can simply say that, okay, run this, not too thrilled with blog. And anyway, those parameters are there related to a model. And this is the result. So you see the text is, sorry, it says text is negative. All right. So you fine tune and you can test on the fine tuned model by giving your prompts. Okay. So coming to the development side, this was the example which I wanted to show. All right. So after this, anyway, since I don't want to exceed time. So what is there in the upcoming slide? I quickly go through that. So what are the different AI tools that I suggest you to explore? Right. That's what I have written here for marketing. Some of the tools, financial application. There are some tools. Okay. Legal applications. You can explore all these. Right. Business AI tools for SEO, content writing. Right. There are prototyping tools for the different products widely used in a business related applications, and some of the general tools like Jasper, which is widely used. Okay, Shortly AI, etc. Okay, and quickly let me talk about some of the myths. Right, people say AI will take over our jobs. For some extent, people may think it is true, but basically, according to me, what happens here is that those who learn these AI tools, they will never lose the jobs, right? So it's time for us to upgrade, right? So if there is someone who does not learn the AI and Gen AI tools, maybe for those cases, right, there may be a situation like losing the jobs can happen. But if we upgrade ourselves and keep learning continuously with all these AI tools, how to use, etc., definitely it's not going to affect the job scenario, I guess. And AI is a sentiment and can feel the emotions. No, it's just it cannot feel any emotions, right? So emotion detection can happen because it has been trained to do so, but there is no sentiment in or emotions. AI is unreliable, Again, that's not true because a lot of applications are running on completely AI now. So I will not touch that. AI is just fancy text generation. Again, now we know that no, it's not not true. Okay, and the very last but one slide is about what will be the future. Again, these are some of the points according to my analysis. That's all. Okay, so what will come in future, right? Those are the highlights of. So, those are the highlights, and okay. So I would like to conclude this the 2-day session with this comment: the future of AI and Gen AI holds immense potential to improve our lives, streamline the process, as well as foster the innovation. By embracing these technologies responsibly and addressing the potential challenges, definitely we can harness their power to create a brighter future for all of us. Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for being so patient throughout the session. And we are open for questions. Please let me know if you have any questions.
Yeah, just one question. Sorry.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah, if I'm extending a little bit time, I'm really sorry.
Yeah, no problem. No problem.
Thank you very much for your, really informative session. I just have one question. Right now, you showed about this key, and then you showed about this JSON file for the data that I can customize. This something like this ChatGPT, I can use as a engine. Say, for example, Cummins V16 engine. So this engine can be utilized for the tank also. This engine can be utilized for excavating the earth, or this engine can be utilized to launch a satellite also, right? That is the power of that V12 engine. And then being the data, I can give my any data, and I can just use this ChatGPT key, which is I'm paying. So it looks like it is very scattered intelligence or scattered power. So my question here is like one more example I can give. Like I hear somebody showed like he was asking about the share prices. Now I have the whole history of my share. Say for example, Yes Bank, I want to invest.
Okay.
So I have the whole complete historical data of this Yes Bank, what has happened. Then I have multiple speculative information from the news also. So something like that data I can input as a JSON file or whatever the data it could be. I can use this ChatGPT as an engine, and I can predict my results based on the various maybe prediction methods. Like either it could be a pattern, it could be a statistical, it could be qualitative, anything I can, right?
Yes.
So
yes.
Now the question is a little bit tricky. I'm asking. Now there are multiple economies like underdeveloped countries, developing countries, and developed countries as well. But now this power does not stop anywhere. So does we have any governance model or any compliance worldwide that how somebody can utilize this, and there is any control of any standard body or anything, or it is still in the process?
According to my knowledge, it is still under process. No government has put up any restrictions of usage of this of any sort, right? But definitely in soon future, because of the power of these models, as you suggested, I think it is under process. Soon in future, there will be some rules to use these kind of models. Definitely that will come. But according to my knowledge, as of now, there is no standard rules that are applied anywhere or everywhere in the world to that.
Yeah, I mean, I can see like it's a huge power, right? I can manipulate the Yes Bank today here in India, but I can take some, Microsoft share also or somebody's share also. And it is just the question of getting the historical data. Bloomberg is there, or any other third-party institute is there where I can get the data, and then I can completely manipulate the whole world. So that is the power I can see here. So just wondering, like, any control body is there or not? Okay, got it. Thank you very much.
As of now, control body is not there. It's under process, I can say.
So I think we have still potential to do something.
Yes, absolutely. We can try.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Yeah, that's it from my
Thank
side.
you.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Thank you very much. Yeah. Bye.
Thank you, guys. Yes. Any other question?
Not a question, actually. I just want to put my sense on the question being asked on the stock market manipulation. Right. Uh, there are many big giants who are having their products, and BlackRock is one of the company who's selling their product. If anybody has heard of that, Aladdin, right, which is only the license cost is I believe 55 CR per year, one license, right? They manipulate the wallet, not the FII, the AIs, right? So don't try anything with Yes Bank or any other bank, although I'm not a stock market investor, but don't try it because I mean, Aladdin, if somebody,
It's just the hypothetication, just I'm saying.
right? Aladdin, that's good.
But it is possible. I mean, there is a way that we can do, but definitely I'm not doing it, but I'm just guessing.
Well, as of now, yes. As of now, yes. And my personal thinking is that there won't be any government guideline in the future as well, right? All the fintech companies, I mean, they are ultimately it's an algorithm, right? They are putting their security models in their algorithm, right? And that's the only stuff which can save them and their customers. But otherwise, internet, it's open source.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree.
All right. So thank you so much, everyone. I think any questions you can feel free to ask. I know Payal have mentioned that want some time from Prashant so that one-on-one discussion can be happen. Definitely that would be there. My one request before we winding up the session, if we can all of us come to camera, come to cam, and we can take a one at least picture, all of us together. That will be really help. Everyone, if that can be a possibility. Yeah. Thank you, Prashant. Uh, Everyone, if you can, come to the camera, it will be really great to.
Difficult. I'm in a different place. Sorry.
Okay, okay, Ganesh. Okay,
Yeah.
right. I request everyone if you can come and at least we'll take a few snap and that we can actually put it in LinkedIn and obviously we'll tag you and all. But if you can, anyone can come to the camp, that will be really helpful. Himanshu, I think you have some cam issue you mentioned, but if you can come to the camp, that will be really helpful. And I have a couple of announcements after this. So right, so looks like all of you are not willing to come down to camp. That's fine. That's fine. Okay. Um, So three things I have mentioned. Okay. Oh, okay. Okay. So that okay. All right, fine. No worries. So one thing is your certificate would be will be sending it to your email. That should be there in maybe in 1 hour or so from now. So please help me with your exact name and also recording access. Recording access will be given to your that Gmail ID, right? It will be in YouTube where we are hosting it, and we require your Gmail ID and to submit final feedback, and also there's a link for review, right? So please share us your review would be helpful, honest review. I mean, we are not asking for anything. Please share what you felt throughout this session. It's a workshop that we have me and Prashant have thought out, and we thought of probably this would be helpful for our business leaders going forward. So how you find overall, it can be a documented way. If you can share a review, that will be really helpful. So my request is, if you can fill all these three links, and if you can give it to us, that we will be very grateful for that. Right. So with that note, we are we are we're wrapping up this session, today's workshop on generative AI for business leaders, 16th and 17th, 6:30 to 9:30 p.m. Thank you so much who are joining from other locations. I understand your timings are different, but still you are there throughout the session. So thank you so much, and thank you everyone who have participated actively. And I've seen that throughout the session we also have seen that many of you have shared the screen and also have done hands-on with Prashant. So thank you so much. And we have a certificate. We will be sending it to you. And maybe Payal, I'm stopping the recording. So if you have any other questions, we can take it up. Maybe in next few minutes. And any questions, we would love to take it up going forward. Right.